You mentioned that songs for Orm these days, especially on the last two albums, have tended to edge past the 20-minute mark. Why is that?
Well, I think it's because we think it's fun to write long songs. So it kind of makes you think differently about the song structures and the arrangements. And I think it gives you some other tools that you can use when composing. So you don't have to have, the same. I mean, we got kind of tired of just when you have 5 minutes, there's just only so much you can do. In a sense, you need this intro, and then once that's done, you need the main riff or something, and maybe you have time for a quiet piece, and then back to something explosive again, and then it's done. It just became constraining for us, I think, to only have that few minutes for us to kind of unfold the stuff that we wanted to do. So instead, we kind of just said, well, what's the maximum number of minutes on an LP? And that's just about 24. And then we said that's the limit basically for the songs. So they don't have to be that long. Like the third side of the new album is 19 minutes or something, or 20. But they're typically, they're around 23, 24 minutes, right? So yeah, it's just to give us flexibility to do the stuff that we want to do, basically.
Do you have the experience of listening to the album on vinyl in mind as you're writing the albums?
Yeah. Yes. So that's kind of that's the main mechanical format that we kind of target. The other two albums were also released on vinyl first and later on CD. This time around, we made both CDs and cassette tapes, and then the vinyl is now waiting because of the very long production times. So it's not out yet, but you can pre-order it.
But if given a choice, would you prefer people listen to the album on vinyl?
Yeah, sure. Yes.
Why is that? Why is the vinyl version the preferred experience?
So of course people are completely free to do whatever they want, right? And in the end, I guess it's mostly about the experience for me. So I really like listening to vinyls because it's a conscious act that you put it on, and you can hear all the mechanical pieces moving around. And when you set it on, you to go and do something completely different. You're not sitting on the computer or working or anything. I mean, of course you can do that, but that's not the way I do it, right? So it's like you're caring for yourself when you take your time, put on a vinyl, sit down, relax, and open your ears and your mind to the music instead of it being some kind of background noise on your computer while you're, I don't know, playing Diablo 3 or whatever.
So let's speak about this album. Would you mind saying the title for me?
Yeah, Intet.
And what does that translate to in English?
It translates roughly to the nothing, the all.
So like nothing and everything, right?
Yeah.
I have a long history, a long tradition of mispronouncing things on this podcast. So I'm going to attempt to...
Yeah, I mean, it's also not fair, right?
Well, I speak to a lot of bands from Scandinavia, for probably obvious reasons. But I enjoy stretching myself. Let's see if I can get this one right. Intet, altet. How's that?
Yeah, that's great.
So, Intet Altet is the name of the third album from Orm, and it was released at the end of September by Indisciplinarian. We spoke about your songwriting process in depth. Going into this album, was there anything different that you guys wanted to try?
Yes, we wanted to expand again on the format, so we made the double album this time, and we wanted to improve our arrangements and songwriting. So we worked a lot more with kind of middle ground dynamics in a sense. So instead of it being an ear, was maybe more extreme fury, and then some quiet guitars. So this time around, we also try to have some more finer grained dynamics. So you don't have just silent or powerful, but you also have something in between that you can kind of, you can also listen to. And then we, of course, wanted from the very beginning to have this full page or full side, of the vinyl being this mellow track. So we had so many nice mellow riffs, basically also left over from previous album. And instead of it just being punctuations between last beats, we kind of wanted to unfold it in its own right. So that's why we really wanted to have this longer, mellow kind of piece.
So we spoke about the way you and your bandmates arranged the songs on the whiteboard, and you mentioned that it was intentional that you guys had the third track of the album be a mostly mellow song. Is the dynamics and the flow of the album as a whole also as important to you as the arrangements of the songs?
Yes, this time around it was, right? So we have the theme of the album is a concept album, right? So it's about these 4 stages of life. And it was very intentional that the music kind of fit with the theme, with the stage that is associated with. And the third stage is one of the hermit, the recluse, who isolates himself to ponder the books and the philosophy and life and the impending death that he's about to experience, which may or may not be also a kind of transcending into a different realm or whatever, basically. But in any case, it's a silent stage where you do not speak. So that's why we wanted to have no lyrics, and we want to have this mellow music for that one.
How soon into the writing process did you guys have the theme?
It was pretty early, I think. Yeah, I mean, it was kind of in a sense accidental, I guess. Well, maybe not, but we wanted to make a double album, basically. That's where it started. And then we stumbled onto this 4 stage of life kind of philosophy from some Hindu texts. And we're definitely not Hindu or anything, but we thought it was pretty interesting. So we kind of used that and our own interpretation of that kind of those books and those scriptures as a frame around us. And then we found that it actually also kind of resonated with us personally.